There are three things you need to consider when building out your rate card and your media kit as an influencer or creator. Let's talk about how to price yourself as an influencer or creator, whether you're just starting out or whether you've been doing it for a while and now you feel like you're ready for brand partnerships. Let's start off with what brands are looking for and what they typically consider. First, as somebody who used to work on brand side, before they even begin casting campaigns, they are given a budget. And typically they know before they even reach out to you how many people they're looking to work with to fit within that budget. Next, they are considering your influencer tier. A lot of brands have different budgets for creator tiers. So there is a budget for nano to micro influencers, a budget for mid tier to macro influencers, and then a budget for mega influencers. Now, this may not be all brands, but brands with an effective influencer system, this is pretty standard. If you guys want a video that goes into more details about the different tiers and where you may fall into that, just let me know in the comments. And then lastly, and the one that's most commonly known, is that brands are looking for your metrics and past influencer collaborations. So that does include your follower count, but it does vary based on your tiers. They also may be looking at engagement. Is your audience actually liking, commenting, sharing, and engaging with your content? Are people actually watching your videos and responding to what you're posting? And there's also past brand partnerships as well. Now, don't let that deter you. Not having it isn't necessarily a deal breaker. But if you do have some, then brands will look at the past ones that you've done and see how they performed and how your audience reacted to it. Now, for me, I definitely believe that influencers, creators should charge what they feel they're worth within these spaces. However, you do have to be realistic. Is your platform strong enough to support your rate? You also need to be prepared to explain and justify why your rate is what it is. Or not in a sense that you'll have to argue or write out paragraphs about why you're worth what you're worth. One of the easiest ways to do this is to have a media kit. A media kit is much easier to show brands the value that you bring versus you just explaining that to them. You need something that backs up what you're saying and supports the rate that you're asking for. Lastly, I also say it's very important to know the foundation of your rates before going into these conversations with brands for partnerships, especially if you're just getting started and don't already have that baseline established. So that means knowing what you would typically charge for things like one Instagram reel or a TikTok video. So if a brand reaches out to you and say, we'd like to work with you for one TikTok video, this is what we can offer. You're already able to quickly assess whether it's a good fit, if it's a little bit lower than what you would typically do. Having that foundation already built is extremely helpful when negotiating, talking to brands about partnership.